Huh. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jazz Guitar Hour at UIS. Today it's April 14th, 2020. Thanks for being here. We're here at the University of Illinois in Springfield, and I'm here every Wednesday talking about jazz, talking about guitar. And There's a question today. Matt, thanks for showing up. Good. So let's see. Question: when you look back in your development as a guitarist, just musician, there any particular, how to say, pivotal? In Portuguese, it's pivotal. It's the same word. Moments that stand out to you. Yes, Matt. I was thinking about. Well, I saw the question before. This moment, just playing right now, it's a pivotal moment. But let's see. Well, recording an album, I have one album recorded, and which ties up with what I was thinking about talking about today as well. Which tunes that I have been working on for something that I want to record in May. So yeah, having to record my album, that's definitely one moment that stand out. But there are many, like every time that I got a chance to play with people that I admire, you know, um, yeah, what else? So playing your own music, that's something that I think it makes a huge difference, you know. But I'll keep thinking about. I'll see. I'll let you know whatever pops up. But so I had two topics today as backup in mind. But feel free to drop in comments whatever pops up. But one thing, introductions to tunes, right? How to start a tune. That's something we can devote a lot of time on. So the tune that I played is standard. It could happen to you. That Matt, we have been working on your lesson. So one thing that very standard, a classic way to start a tune if you're not sure. This one, it's played. It could be played in any key. It's a vocal tune, so vocalists sing wherever they want, and they're right. They should. And I played in two key. I changed keys. I played in E flat first, and then in G. E flat. Miles Davis plays it in the E flat. I think that's the most played, like in jam sessions. Usually people play in E flat, but Keith Jarrett plays it in G major, and also Chet Baker sings it in G. But so that's why I wanted to learn in G as well. So, but I mean, if you're thinking of the key of E flat, one classic way, it's a 16251, right? If you're not sure, you got to a gig, you don't know the musicians, you haven't rehearsed. If you say it could happen to you, just play this until they join you. It could be 2 hours. It could be the whole show. Right? 16251. It can't go wrong. So the way I did it here, I like to do it with a bass pedal. I mean, there are many ways to do 16251. The 6 dominant, 5, or 1. Instead of the 6, you can do the diminished half step up. And then instead of the 1, you can play the 3. 3, 6, 2, 5. And the tritone subs, instead of the C, you can play F sharp, chromatic down. There you go. So it's endless. I was thinking here, it's probably easier to just play a bunch of different ways. So I mean, applying the same idea now in the key, if I had started in the key of G, 1, 6, 2, 5, 6, tritone sub, 1, the diminished. Okay, and another way that you could, especially here, I'm playing by myself, so I can do whatever I want, right? Or whatever I can, whatever I'm able to. That's a good. I can't do whatever anything that I want. I wish, but you can play the song Rubella. I mean, if you're playing with a band, That's always a good idea if you want to just start by yourself, maybe play one chorus by yourself. And then in the end of your epic introduction, what do? You can do the 16251 on tempo. Yeah, and I didn't do the bass pedal in the intro. You can do one. In this case, doing a bass pedal on the 5, it's very simple and effective. 1, and then the 6. If you make the 6 an altered, like a flat 9, then you can make it a diminished. Can you? Yes. So, and then the 2-5 becomes just a 5 sus to a 5. Yeah. Yeah, I like doing this diminished, the second one diminished to make it really distinct. Yeah, that you probably heard. If not, go back and check out the introduction, the Miles Davis introduction to "Someday My Prince Will Come." There's a bass pedal, like a sus sound. So that's a classic. Do a sus bass pedal on the 5. Always work. Um, and then if you're bass, I mean, as a piano player, you can play the bass pedal. The thing was, when you have a bass pedal, it gives you freedom to move, whatever. After the consistency of the bass pedal is established, you can kind of move around basically wherever you want with the chords. If you're feeling adventurous, like with triads, let's say. Yeah, I could be easy on myself as a guitar player and use an open string, right? Like, let's say, instead of B flat, see those shapes here. I already know that works. Is gonna work as like a G triad over A bass pedal. I know it works as a sus, and if you just lower the triad a half step down, that's gonna work as an altered. Not as a dominant, not necessarily, not the altered scale, but in this case here, what is it? Is the dominant diminished scale, which is, where are you? This sound here. But I mean, it could be any triad. See, this one here happens to be, this sound fits the Lydian. Maybe even the Lydian dominant. Let's see. I guess the Lydian dominant as well. It could be any. Let's see, augmented. But you don't have to play all the scales, though. The point that I'm trying to make here is that once you have a bass pedal, you have freedom in the top. You can play around with triads, especially if you do movements like everything that moves is with a certain whatever it is. If you have some consistency, for example, here I play the so what voicing, and I move it down randomly, I picked it randomly, but then I established something consistent which is moving it down in whole steps. So there are two consistent elements here. There's a bass pedal. So yeah, but if your tune is in E flat and you're doing your bass pedal in A because you're a guitar player, here we are. Yeah. So let me try to, yeah, hope that made some sense. Just a couple of things you can do in terms of setting up a tune. You know, let me do another one of this type of things, but now with just a little bit more open introduction. Um, which is like to start in the different, not to start in the beginning of the tune and make variations. Keep it open. I'm gonna stay on the same tune. It could happen to you. Let me see if I can do what I said, like to start in a different place in the melody that's not the beginning, and try to make variations. Like try to get to improvise with with the tune, and let the melody kind of like call for itself to be played, if that makes sense. Let's see. Something like that. So what I had in mind, I mean, how dare I say that what I had in mind was to do something in the style of Keith Jarrett. That's one of my favorite players ever. Sue me. And he does. I remember there's an album I can't find it anymore. I used to have the MP3s of that, but I don't have it anymore. But if you do have a way to find it, send it to me. Keith Jarrett Live at the Blue Note is a series of albums. It may be like 7 albums, and he does some ridiculous introductions. Like the one that I remember very well is the one to Days of Wine and Roses. He starts with like Yeah, I don't remember what he does, but he starts moving around with the harmony, like just going very unexpected places. So yeah, I was doing here a mix of things that I had an idea how it would sound like. Like if I played this, I've played this thousands of times. I know the, but I was also taking some chances. Like sometimes like stuff like this, just keeping one note on top and moving the shape of the chord, even if you're not sure. That is legal in the state of Illinois so far. But I was playing around with the idea of the, I don't know if you call it the bridge, but this melody here, like, see, that's right, Keith Jarrett's alley. I really wish I could do it the way he does, but whatever. It's fine. Gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta do what you can do. So this type of, see, taking it out of the original harmony. So another, like a quote, something that I heard from another of my idols, happens to be also a piano player, who had a birthday this week. Uh, Turned 81. Herbie Hancock. How I remember reading somewhere, or maybe an interview, like a video thing. I don't remember where, but I do remember what he said that really stuck to me. That sometimes he lets his hands do the work, sometimes his heart, and sometimes his brain. Sometimes I would feel guilty for like moving, going somewhere just because my fingers were there. This type of thing, especially. So I'm not thinking of the voice leading. I'm not thinking. I'm just kind of moving my fingers around with one note on top. And yeah, it was really refreshing for me to hear that from Herbie. That sometimes he lets his fingers just do the work. And I mean, of course, if you, like your heart, if you're feeling emotional about something, or whatever. Um, and the other thing that I do sometimes, oh, well, I do that sometimes as well. Um, yeah, well, if you're really feeling what you're playing, right, which is hopefully it's often. Um, but the other thing, the brain thing, right, how to play, to hear from him that he does it. I mean, of course, Herbie Hancock and Keith Jarrett and those people, it feels like it's just magic, right? But it's not just magic. But the brain thing, yeah, it's just like stuff that they worked out beforehand. That they learned, and they know it's gonna work. Oh, I'm gonna play whatever. Like instead of a B flat, I'll play an A half diminished. You know, so that happens with, at least with Herbie as well. With Keith Jarrett, I'm not sure. With I've seen interviews with him in which he tends to be more on the mystical side. Like he talks about like having his mind completely clear and letting the piano play. It's kind of like letting the not having any preconceived idea whatsoever. And that's believable coming from with the level that he plays. Uh, okay, that's a lot on introductions. So let me tie with Matt was asking about. By the end of this, I'll come up with a way to say pivotal, pivotal, pivotal. There's so many ways to mess it up. But I'm gonna play. I'm getting, as I said, I'm getting ready to record some of my tunes. So let me play them here and see how it feels. And I can discuss some of the ways that I've been approaching it. Sounds like a decent plan. I guess so. Yeah. All right, so that's likely gonna be the first. Not like it is gonna be the first track on the album. It's called Hope, and it's changes. Uh, so yeah, hope you could get a sense of the tune. It's kind of hard to play by myself and give all the context. Um, but it's a simple tune, like da-da. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that I right now I go in and out of singing phases. You know, like sometimes I feel like it's like that's important to sing every note, and a few of my some of my favorite players do that. Not all of them. But right now I'm feeling like it is a good idea. Even like really high. So bear with me. Yeah. But then when I started soloing, I stopped singing. Huh, which is I don't think it's a good sign because I'm hearing the melody, but then when I'm improvising, I should keep singing. I think I'll try that on the next tune. But oh yeah, the final chord here. I think it's pretty cool. It's a B flat sus. But this voice in here, I'm gonna use it on other tunes. It's gonna be kind of a secret. This is us opening up secrets for the albums that are gonna disappear. But I'm gonna use it on other songs as well. So as a B flat sus, I'm playing the dominant 7, the 4. And that's what makes it crunchy. It's the open G, which is the 13th, or the 6th, which is right next to the 7. And then I'm playing the root, B flat, and then the 5 on top. And the bass here, because I don't have. You can't make that stretch. So, yeah, that's Hope. What about it? Kind of like this chord here. To me, it's a little. I mean, every chord is challenging. Excuse me. Just E flat major. Then goes to E half diminished. And then I like this guy here. It's F sharp. I don't know how did I notate it. I think it's just G major 7 over F sharp. Because see, if you think about it, there's an F sharp on the bottom, but there's a flat 9 on top. But it's all fourth, so it doesn't really hurt. From here, I go to E flat major over G, and then a little deviation from the key. And there's no whatever. What's the key? Like B flat, I guess ish. But then there's a little. See, this part here, the chords change kind of quickly, so I gotta watch out. Just work on that. That's one way. What else? See, try to play. What I'm trying here is to play ideas that explain the harmony, you know, and also stay connected, even though the chords go in and out of different keys. I'm trying to play lines that connect them, you know, that make sense. That doesn't sound like I'm playing one thing and then I'm copy and pasting ideas that don't connect, that don't relate. That's easy to do, and I do that sometimes. So gotta watch out. Another chord that I use all the time, the Tonio Horta stolen chord, major, the Jimi Hendrix major 7. For which I'm thinking now, I'm on a. I've sometimes I like to think this chord as using the. It's a B. major, 7, sharp 9. Sometimes I like to think of it as to use the B flat augmented scale. I think that relates with that sound. But sometimes I like over that sound. Sometimes I like to think of it as the sixth mode of the harmonic minor scale, which is something that I don't use very often. I don't think it's used very often in jazz, especially more traditional. But it's 2021. We gotta use every scale. So if it's the sixth mode, B is the sixth mode of who? You should know by now. It's my tune. Who are you? E flat. Yeah, so E flat. That's a sound that like 100% fits, right? Oops. Yeah. It's just to me there's a kind of a danger of sounding a little bit like sound a little kind of like forcing an ethnic component. But there are ways to use this scale over this chord. And make it work. But anyway, I'm spending a whole lot of time. The chord is gonna be here for half a bar, and nobody's gonna hear it. And now, yeah, the little progression in the key of E flat, basically like C minor, D, E flat, and then E, and then C minor, and then the little shout chorus that I'm gonna hire a choir of children to sing. I'm not gonna hire anybody, just kidding. Yeah, and this song, by the way, has words in Portuguese. A friend who I don't know, isn't that weird? Can you be friends with someone who you don't know? I don't know him personally, but Deuler de Andrade, it's a great composer from Minas Gerais. He sang on the album by Tony Horta, who won the Latin Grammy this year. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, I reached out to him because we have a few friends in common. That's a few years ago, 2017. Uh, yeah, and I sent him the tune, and I said, hey, and he writes some beautiful, beautiful Deuler Andrade. Check him out. And he wrote like Por onde andar, levo minhas melodias, entrego a quem quiser cantar suas paixões. Quando eu te encontrar, quando eu te beijar, tudo pra acontecer já. O sol vai brilhar, o amor vai chegar. O sol vai brilhar, o amor vai chegar. Yeah, super simple. I think it fits the tune pretty well. It's like whenever I go, I take my melodies, I give them to whomever wants to sing their passions, which is what I did. I just, when I encounter you, when I kiss you, everything to happen, love is gonna arrive. Yeah, so it's pretty simple, but I think it was really cool for me to have a partnership with Deuler. So yeah, there's another tune on the album he also wrote lyrics for. Those are probably not going to be featured, maybe in the future. But let me play that. It's called Father's Day. I don't remember all the words he wrote. That's even even better. You can't compare. They are all equally great. Words. The tunes I don't know. The tunes I'll let you judge. I don't know whatever I'm gonna if it's gonna be on Bandcamp. I'm thinking of just creating a website so you can listen to the tracks and you can download the tracks in high resolution and you can just stream and forget about it and like a simple I'll see if there's a way to just put a simple button that you can donate whatever you want, you know, kind of like the Patreon thing. But I wonder why would you have pay someone or have someone in between if you can just create a website and make it just you and the listener, you know. So I don't know, just ideas. I'm gonna play Father's Day, my composition. Okay. That was my composition called Father's Day that I composed on Father's Day. There's time, of course, I can put all sorts of meanings, um, but I'm not good with that. Like it's notes, and I think they sound good together. And I wrote it on Father's Day. I don't know if it should be that's the thing, for my son or for my father. So, but they only wrote words for his father. So, and those are more complex, more like there's a narrative. I'm talking about the lyrics so much. Maybe I should record them as alternate tracks, huh? For the Japanese version. But yeah, see that this one I was singing the lines, and I definitely felt more connected with whatever I was playing, even though the fast. The hands are feeling good now. We just gotta take advantage. So singing, but now the next level that one I think I should be able to do, and I recommend that you try as well on your songs or on everybody's songs. To stay closer to the melody, right? Because you play ahead like kind of jumps around a little bit. Then it would be silly to do something like here I'm still on the stage. I'm still kind of connecting the scales, like the sounds that go with each of those chords, because I wrote progressions that I'm not very familiar with. You which they challenge me. So Matt, answering your question, take two. Uh, Development as a guitar, like being able to play over challenging stuff that I write for myself. That's always a moment of growth. Um, but yeah, since sometimes I still have to think of the scales here. There's a tendency to play, to kind of like just run which is a danger. Much more desirable to just play the melody. That's where I'm trying to get at. To play something that to connects with the melody, which is interesting to think about. Early jazz, that's all they did basically. They played the tunes. And then they played variations. That's all of me. It's all of you. Did I say all of me? That's another song. See, that type of stuff that I just did, that only appeared, uh, well, Charlie Parker, maybe that's a pinnacle of. I'm using lots of words that I don't know. Should watch out. Charlie Parker, this thing of kind of playing the melody and then just jumping in your own zone. He would play probably all of me. Like focusing on the changes, it's thinking of what he could do with the changes, and not necessarily so much about the melody of the tune. But if you see players before him, and the first one that comes to mind is Louis Armstrong. You know, just variations on the melody. That was already a little far, but that's always a good idea. Maybe I'll stay close to the melodies and get rich like Louis Armstrong. Maybe I don't know. What a wonderful world. Yeah, but he went through lots of difficult moments as well. He deserved every little cent that he got. Uh, well, what else? We got 8 more minutes. And Matt, let's go back to your question then. Let me see. Once again, your development as a guitarist, particularly pivotal, pivotal, pivotal moments. Yeah, I can think of the first time that I set in when I was starting to learn. I knew the girl from Ipanema, and I went to the local jazz club in my hometown, Uberaba, that has a crazy Japanese dude, Saulinho, abraço, who opened up a club that had a Monday night, a Monday jazz night that has been going on since before the 2000s, I guess, or maybe the early 2000s. But it's been going on for a long time. And so I knew a couple of songs. I knew like Cantaloupe Island, I knew All Blues, and I was starting to learn the Girl from Ipanema, and I was trying to learn how to play over the changes, right? And I felt a little bit confident, and I went to sit in. And then the keyboard player, like, oh, so okay, go ahead, play the melody. And I didn't know the melody. It was pretty stupid. So it was just funny. It was just like, and then and this little the beginnings, like every time to sit in was like an event. My dad would bring me to the place and wait. Poor man. And until it became natural, like playing gigs. Actually, it became natural in after I played in a cruise ship, which was a horrible experience for me. Uh, it was great in some points, but there was, like overall, it was horrible. Don't do it. But two good things. One was traveling, that I went to see some crazy places, and the really the best one for me was just to we played every day, right? From yeah, there was no day off, so it was Sunday to Sunday, Monday to Sunday, however you want to see, and just the act of like playing in front of people became real natural, after let's I don't know 50 times in a row. It was like, okay, this like it doesn't feel. I wasn't embarrassed, I wasn't afraid anymore. Of course, you were always a little bit. Everything could go wrong, but playing on that stupid cruise ship was good for that. To just because I remember when I got back, like when I went to play gigs, it was much more natural. It was like, oh, this feels normal. Before that, it was like, oh my god, I'm gonna play a gig. Like, oh, what if I miss a note? All right. Little the girl with emphysema, or the girl from Ipanema. Thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me. I'll be here next Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Bring your questions. Thanks for Matt for interacting. Always good. I hope I answered a little bit of your question, but we can always keep growing. That's the plan. It's too late to go back. Uh, yeah. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.